Hey everybody, welcome to 10 minutes clarinet practice. A lot of people have asked me, can you talk about the vibrato? My vibrato, how I go about getting vibrato on the instrument. So, it's so funny because I'm now having to think, how did I go about learning that? How did I go about feeling it? When to use it, when to not use it? So, it's a really tough one to know. Some people say, do I do it with my jaw? Am I doing it from inside? And the answer is, if I think about it and really think about it now, and this is me thinking about it now, it's definitely coming from within, but I'm obviously making a movement here with my jaw, a big kind of... But where it's, the bigger, it's like, and by the way, this isn't the strict educational, oh, this is how you make vibrato. This is what I do. So if someone wants to tell me that's wrong, that's fine. But this is what I do. So I suppose if you want to see a side-on view, I'm kind of going, I'll get a bit closer to you, shall I? And I'm kind of loosening up this, making everything here a bit looser, not as tight on the lip. And the other thing that people asked was, when do you use vibrato? When do you not use vibrato? That is such a hard question because I don't really think about it. I would say that I feel it, and I feel when it, I feel, especially, it all comes back to blues again. If you think of playing a blues. It gives emotion to the, emotional feel to the note. That's what I feel. I'm using it. Yeah, so I'll play you a blues. I'll play you a blues not using vibrato, and I'll play you a blues using vibrato. Yeah. I found it quite hard not to play with vibrato then, but now with... So you can see it gives so much more. Why should you use vibrato? When should you use it? My friend Evan Christopher, who is my favourite clarinetist living today, he said to me the other day, when I did one of these videos, or when I did a video of me playing something, talking about Edmund Hall, and Edmund Hall has a very big, wide sound, like... Right? But he was saying, often the vibrato didn't come straight away when he played a tune. So instead of going like, it would be, so you'd get the attack of the note and then the vibrato would come. So I've been sort of trying to practice that as well. This is, I started playing 34 years ago, 35 years ago coming up. And I'm someone who's listened to Edmund Hall and listened to Bechet and listened to, New Orleans clarinetists who have big wide sounds. And then Evan Christopher, hands down the man, comes and says something like that. And I have to suddenly, my brain goes, oh my gosh. And then it's trying to relearn different things and different ways of doing it. But vibrato can add so much, but it can also be over the top, I feel sometimes. If it was to be like... mean, that just sounds, so you've got to find a middle balance of it. So you can hear there, that's one with too much, one with balance, and again before. It's got no colour to it, although it's correct, and yes, that's the melody and that's the thing. When people say making vibrato from down here, I feel that a lot of the sounds that I get and put through the instrument all comes from down under here. And my friend David Kershak, who does repairs on my clarinets, sometimes when I've been blowing the clarinet and I pass him the clarinet to do something to it, he often puts his hand here and he's like, it's so hot, which means that the breath is coming right from the bottom of the lungs, you know. It's like I'm bringing it all up, bringing it, not my lungs are here, but yeah, it's so interesting. And these questions are wonderful because they're things that I don't think about anymore. But as soon as I start to think about it, I start going, oh, wow, I do that. I do this all the time. And it's really making me think. I did a show yesterday at Bristol Jazz Festival, and I really thought about melody, leaving loads more space. You know, the things that I try to put across to people and teach to people, not that I'm a teacher, but when I say, oh, melody's important and leaving space and leaving big gaps and thinking about, you know, let everything happen around you. And I say that to people all the time. But yesterday I did a gig and I put all of those things into practice, and it was amazing how my mindset's changed from doing these videos. So even if nobody ever watched one of these videos, I get so much from it. But yeah, so vibrato is coming from inside and it's coming from here. And it's often that, you know, the thing that Evan was saying, don't use vibrato all the time. Get there, yeah. Rather than. And yeah, I've been learning so much from these things. But I remember the old New Orleans guys have a wonderful thing. George Lewis, the old clarinet player, you know, who would do all the hymns and spirituals. You know, when you hear him do Old Rugged Cross. You know, and it brings so much colour to everything. I love it. And especially on E-flat clarinet, when you hear those things, if you listen to any of the old brass bands, the New Orleans parade bands, the E-flat clarinet wailing around at the top, like on things like Just a Little While to Stay Here. You can always hear these little wailing things going over. Funeral music, you know, in the dirges, you know, it's like the instrument that's crying. Vibrato's giving you that, you know, the emotional thing. And so I think you've got to use it wisely, and really think about it. Think about when you're going to swell the. Think about when you're going to use it. Just sit and work on it. Just sit working on each note. You could practice for an hour just on one note, making it sound different just through vibrato. Yeah. so much to do. Anyway, I hope that's a bit of help for you. Thanks to everyone who's been liking, subscribing and sharing these little videos. Wonderful. I'll do another one soon. Take care. Bye-bye.